Hey there, hi, welcome to the channel. I am Garrett and thank you for spending some time with me today because in this video, we're talking about overrated decor that people love to talk about, and you need to be made aware of the facts about. Now, the first thing we have to talk about are sculptural vases. I've talked about it before and I'm gonna talk about it again because until I stop seeing it, it needs to be discussed. Sculptural vases have a time and a place, and that place is back at the store you got it from. Respectfully. I do like a sculptural element or piece in a house, and that's why people like these vases. And when I say sculptural vase, I mean a vase that has, some shape to it, some rhythm to it. It may have some interesting elements to it, and that's all cool, but like, is it a vase or is it a sculpture? And I think there's a fine line between those two. You can have a vase that has some interesting shape to it, but at the same time, if it's got so much sculpture to it that it can't be used as a vase, what is it? Is it a vase or is it a sculpture? It doesn't make a ton of sense. So we have to be logical in the way we decorate and the decor pieces we use, right? I think you should have a vase. Love that. It can be interesting. It can be unique. This vase right here next to me, it's got great shape to it. It's got texture to it. I mean, like, what are these little baubles on it? That's interesting, right? But it's a vase, and I can clearly use it as a vase, and you should be doing the same thing. Now, I know the sculptural vase is in, and it's like the modern thing to do, but there's other modern things you could do. And if you really like sculpture, get a vase and get a sculpture and put the two of them together, and I love that for you. We can have fun and do beautiful decor. We can have lots of beautiful things in our home, but like, they need to just make sense. And a sculptural vase, sometimes it's all sculpture, no vase, when we need it to be mostly vase and a little bit of sculpture. So be mindful about that. And when you see it, just know that, like, yeah, everybody agrees with you. It looks crazy, but some people just like get caught up in a trend and they're like, oh, this is cool. It's on sale at the store. Let me pick it up and I'll pick two of them up too. Like, it's enough. Like, we can do something that's interesting, that has great shape to it, that adds to the space, but isn't something that's so groundbreaking, revolutionary, and, interesting that it's not actually usable. Otherwise, it's just a hollow piece of art with a hole in the top of it, I guess. Maybe, but it also might be like generically mass produced, so I don't really consider that to be great art. So like, you kind of have to make up your mind about which of these two things you want. The sculptural vase, very popular, very trendy, a lot of people love them, but I want something that really makes more sense than just being decorative and sitting there. Like, yes, as a designer, everything I want in your space should be beautiful, right? I want that for you, but it also should be functional. Another major decor trend that we have to talk about that I think is so overrated, and honestly, I just think is a little bit weird, is the internet's obsession with the charcuterie board. And that's how you pronounce it, charcuterie, just so we're clear. But what is with that? Like, everyone online, every like home decorator wants to be like, oh, the charcuterie board, and laying it out and everything. I've never been to a party where there's been like, a bunch of charcuterie boards. Never had like 10 charcuterie boards, maybe one, maybe two, but not 10 of them. So why do you need to have so many charcuterie boards? They can be good decor, I'll give you that. Like, all of the time in a kitchen, I'm always like, I want to see some like wood on the countertop to break up the backsplash, right? So like a wooden cutting board, a wooden charcuterie board can be great. Or if we have like interesting color happening, I might be like, let's get a marble charcuterie board so that we break that up a little bit. We have a solid material there. That's really good, okay? That's one charcuterie board. That's all we really need. Maybe you have two if you want to, break it up, do a little something interesting with decor, but like, why do people need to have 10 of them? And it's to the point where it's like, we have one and we're going to use this as a tray to corral everything. And so there's one on the island in the kitchen to corral whatever's there. And there's another here on the countertop to corral this little coffee bar station, let's call it. And then there'll be another one on the backsplash to have as decor. And then don't forget the fourth one that's in a drawer that we actually use as a charcuterie board when you entertain, which is probably not that often. I don't get the obsession with it. I see them all of the time, absolutely everywhere. People love to have them. I have a singular charcuterie board, and it's cute. It's a little marble thing, and it sits there on the backsplash, and it kind of gives what needs to be given. But otherwise, I don't need to have a ton of them because it's a waste of space. Yeah, I mean, it can be cool to corral some objects like that, but could do that with a tray, or you probably just don't need to have a bunch of decorative stuff in your kitchen, so you don't need to have a ton of these. 1 or 2 of them is fine, but let's not overdo it because I think it's overplayed. It's like a great accessorizing piece to an extent, but too much of one thing is just too much. You have to get more creative than that. You can't just use one of the same thing 25 times in different places. It's gotta be a little bit different. You have to push yourself. Look for things you will use, you will interact with on a daily basis to break that up a little bit. If you're like, hey, I love to have the wood look in my kitchen, great. Get one wooden charcuterie board, get a vase with wooden utensils in it, and then maybe you can get a wooden fruit bowl. That's more than enough, and you get that look without having 20 of the same thing in your home that you just don't need. Speaking of something you may need in your home, some great interior design advice to answer your difficult questions is one of those things. And I would be happy to offer you my services. I offer my design consultation services on a one-on-one basis. You can book that using the link in the description box down below, or going to intro.co/GarrettLeChic. You can give me a virtual tour of your home, show me around and ask me your questions. So be sure you check out that link in the description box down below, and I will see you over there. Another overrated decor trend we have to talk about is going to be one of the most popular decor trends of the end of 2025 and 2026, okay? Like, I'm calling it now. I'm telling you point blank, yeah, even Arden knows, okay? He recognizes. Do you wanna come and say hi? Okay. He knows the trend, he recognizes, and that is molded glass, and basically what I'm just calling thick glass. This is a trend that a lot of designers are liking right now, and essentially it's just this like hand molded or blown glass, but it's like extra thick. It's like, thick as a coffee table book, right? Like super thick glass. It's cool, it's interesting, it looks good. Why is it so expensive? That is my question about this, because at the end of the day, it's glass. That's it, it's glass. So why are we spending, $600, $700, and $1,000 on a small side table that has this glass on it? I don't like that. It's too much, it's ridiculous, and it's too expensive. I think this is really cool, and a lot of designers really like it, but at the end of the day, it's glass. I'm not spending all of that money that it takes to get this on those pieces, because major retailers are already producing them. They already have them, they're already in catalogs. I've got one on my desk right now. But you don't have to spend a lot of money on this because it's just glass. And the good thing about glass is if you go for the designer dupe, glass is glass. It's glass. It's the same thing. So like if you get the dupe from Amazon, which I recommend you check out my Amazon storefront, linked in the description box down below. Love that for you. Check it out. Look for these dupes that are much more affordable. At the end of the day, a metal table with a glass top is going to be good quality, whether it's from the designer brand or it's the dupe, an alternative, or inspired. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is maybe not overrated, because it's something I love, but you need to have like the real perspective on it. You need to have a real conversation about it. I'm always gonna give it to you. And that is silver. Silver is very much on trend right now because of this kind of cottage style, new colonial style, even just like, designer inspired styles like Ralph Lauren. Love, adore that sort of vibe. People are bringing it into their home, and this style features a lot of authentic materials, cut crystal and silver, which I love all of it. But just remember that silver patinas, okay? It gets an aging look to it, it gets oxidized, and you have to polish it, which is all fine, but sometimes you have to polish it a lot and it ages relatively quickly, okay? And a lot of people have a problem with seeing like tarnished silver. Me personally, I like to polish my silver in the spring, and then it's bright and shiny in the summer. Fall and winter, it gets that like warmth to it and it gets aged, and I love that look. But I used to have a piece of silver in the background of my videos, and the amount of hateful, like nasty, vile comments I would get because it wasn't polished were insane. People always have an opinion on it. People used to leave these negative comments, which doesn't particularly bother me because not everybody has great taste, and that's beside the point. But just be prepared that like you'll get comments on it. People will be like, why isn't it polished? Oh, the silver needs to be polished or whatever. I don't like that. I think it's tacky. I think like giving a critique like that is just like, no, I don't care for that. But you'll get that. And so you are going to have to be prepared to polish the silver at some point, because at a certain point, you do have to polish it. Otherwise, it could start to like corrode and just get like kind of ruined a little bit. So you don't want that to happen, but I do like that aged look of silver. So the big trend for silver is going to be in picture frames. There's also lamps that are really popular right now that have that silver look. If you're not prepared to polish any of that stuff, like I love a champagne bucket. I love, you know, really beautiful serving pieces that I kind of like will put in my china cabinet or have on display. I think all of that's really pretty. But if you're not going to polish it, maybe you don't go for silver. Maybe you look for the chrome alternative that gives you a lot of that like bright silvery kind of look and that reflective surface without having to commit to polishing it. Buy silver because you love it and you're going to take care of it and you're prepared to take care of it. I recommend a silver polish foam. A lot of people like cream. I don't have the time for that. I like a silver polish foam. I can polish my silver in like 2 seconds flat with hot water in this foam. Check it out in my Amazon storefront, linked in the description box down below. It will change your life if you are a person that polishes silver. Speaking of changing your life, some great design advice could do just that thing. So be sure you hit the subscribe button, become a part of our GarrettLeChic family. We would love to have you with us. So hit that subscribe button, give this video a like. I'd appreciate if you hit that hype button to share the video across the platform. And if you are new here, comment down below and let me know so that I can personally welcome you to the channel. Another major trend we're gonna talk about. We're gonna just take a little minute and talk about it because it's a decor trend that some people love and some people hate. I'm kind of indifferent towards, but we'll get into it. That's coffee table books. Now, I love a good coffee table book. I love a good coffee table book, but you don't have to have them. Coffee table books have been a big trend for the last like 5 years, okay? It started with like the designer coffee table books because that was like synonymous with luxury and it was supposed to make your house look expensive. Having a designer name in there, like whatever, doesn't even mean anything. But, you know, coffee table books can be a little bit trendy. And the thing is, get something that interests you. You have to be very interested in it in order for it to make sense or be authentic or be real. Coffee table books are meant to inspire you. They're meant to be flipped through and looked through for you as well as your guests. Your guests should get an insight into who you are as a person through your coffee table books. And that's what really matters and that's what's important. So for me, as a designer, okay, I went to design school. I studied interior design. I have my degree in interior design. I specifically studied historic preservation though. That's something that really is important to me. So I have a lot of historic design books, design about historic buildings and styles, and that's the sort of thing that really interests me. History in general interests me. So I have a lot of books about that. I love artwork, so I have books about artwork. That's cool to me and I like that, but you could have some really somewhat niche thing that you like. Maybe you like wildlife photography, have books about that. Maybe you love golf, have books about golf, okay? If your husband's really into cars, get him a book about cars and have it on the coffee table. They have to be interesting to you. They cannot just be pretty, it can't just be decor. Like, also coffee table books can be very expensive. So there are decor alternatives you can get that are more affordable and look just as good, if not better. So save a little bit of money and prioritize things you'll actually like, you use, and that are relevant to the space. Another decor trend we must discuss and talk about is the accent wall. Now, there is a time and a place for an accent wall. I'll give you that, okay? There's a time and a place for it, but every major designer, everyone who's pushing boundaries isn't using accent walls. They're doing all-encompassing design. They're enveloping the space. They're painting all of the walls. They're adding that textural element everywhere. They're wallpapering everything. And that's what I think you should do. Go big in your color schemes and what you're doing and be adventurous and have fun rather than use an accent wall. Now, accent walls can be fun. Like, if you know you're doing a model home, right? I expect to see accent walls, like let's be real. But in your house, I think you can do better. I think you can have more fun. I just think it's more interesting to paint everything. Paint your ceiling, paint all of the trim, paint your ceiling and your walls one color and your trim a contrasting accent color. I love that so much. That's a great way to have a lot of fun and add interest into your house rather than just focusing in on having one accent wall, because that one accent wall is going to pull all of the attention, right? Like if you have a cream room and it's all like a soft, warm white color with like a green wall, I don't see anything other than that green wall because it is standing out. It's so shockingly different that that's all I see. So that's all we're going to see. Do something big, do something everywhere. Paint your ceiling, I love that. Paint the inside of a closet. That can be a really cool accent too, like a little selfish accent detail, I love that. Paint all of your trim an interesting color. Those are really good places to pull an accent moment because it's just different, it's unexpected, it's not regular or ordinary. Push the boundaries of design beyond that. Let's make sure we're balancing the attention we're giving to each side of the space in the same way. That's why I don't paint accent walls and I don't recommend you, well, I'm not painting the accent wall, but I'm not gonna recommend an accent wall or I'm not gonna have it done because I just think there's something better we could do than that. And I think you should push your boundaries and do that too. Well, there you have it, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us and spending some time. I hope you had some fun because I know we did. Be sure you check out this video right over here all about some home decor you should not be buying because it's also out and I don't want to see it in your house. You could do so much better. Be sure you check it out and we will see you over there.